So I took a course today on different type of abuse that there is out there. And you have like physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, neglect. And when you're talking about neglect, self-neglect, that's also a form of abuse. This is something that people on the spectrum go through, which is self-neglect. We either can't find the energy to take care of ourselves, to do just basic things. I screenshotted a picture of like just a small list. I think it was like 2 slides, but this is one of the slides, and here's the list here. So I'm not looking at the list right now. You guys can see it. I'm not looking at it right now, but I think it was something like personal hygiene was on there, and not paying utilities or your bills and stuff like that. So just basic stuff. This is why, like, if you see people, it's just very important to learn about mental health, period, whether you're on the spectrum or not. But stuff like, oral hygiene. No one forces you to go to the dentist. This is not something that is forced upon you. Like, self-neglect is not mandatory that you take care of yourself. It kind of should be, right? Because if it was, then you wouldn't have people who are left out. If you are on the spectrum and you have a parent who doesn't care to tell you to brush your teeth, you get older and you have fucked up ass teeth. Or if you do have a parent that tells you to brush your teeth and you just can't find the energy or the reasoning to understand why you need to do that. Even if you're talking about ADHDers, and autistic people asking the why. We don't do things that we don't understand the logic in. So as a kid, you're not trying to brush your teeth if you don't understand the importance of it. And children typically don't. They don't care about taking care of themselves. This is why you have parents to tell you this is, and then like I said, you might have a parent who's telling you, but they might be a single mother and they're working all the time, so they can't brush your teeth for you in your earlier years. And then you don't know if the mother might be on the spectrum undiagnosed and she needs help even brushing her own teeth. So she's not telling her child to brush her teeth. We just don't know. And then you see people online in the black community, because they have to group up everything. I just saw a post about Blue Ivy and the black community projecting, calling Rumi autistic. The thing is, you can't win with the black community. The thing is, Rumi might be autistic. Okay, but it's like the black community either wants you to like sweep shit under the rug and then they get mad later when you don't question it, or if you question it now, it's because you're projecting and you're just trying to make your problem there. It's just like you can't win with black people. It's like you can't have a conversation. They're going to group it up and make it a conversation and do all this stuff. But this is why we have these conversations of there being a possibility that there are a lot of undiagnosed people in the community. People are not just coming online trying to project because they want to be autistic with somebody else. These things affect your life. It's a mental disability or a developmental disability. It affects the quality of your life. It affects how your life goes. This is not a fad. When you have clinicians out here and you have people who are late diagnosed finding out they're on the spectrum and they make it their life's mission to become clinicians or study or, come up with new discoveries, it's not people jumping on a fad. It's about self-care so that you don't neglect yourself, so you don't live a life thinking that you're neurotypical when you're not. Back to like oral hygiene and like body dysmorphia and all that other stuff. Like, I'm going to use me for an example. This is a very vulnerable post. If anybody knows me, I hate my teeth. I hate my mouth. I hate my body. I'm dissociated from my body. I don't know who this is. And I don't talk about it much. I just deal with it, so nobody knows. But then you have, and I'm going to keep talking about the black community because the black community is sick as fuck. They will get online and be like, why she shaped like that? You know why she's shaped like that? Because she probably ate without any limitations. And I'm talking about if somebody's overweight. Ate without any limitations, because that's also a way to stem. Sometimes people just overeat because they're bored, because they have nothing to do, because they like the texture of the food. And before they realize what they're doing, they ate a whole bag of chips just because they like the crunch. That is a form of stemming. And I'm not saying that happens all the time. I'm just throwing out an example. So then you have somebody who unconsciously got super fat, not knowing that they need to just stop at some point because they didn't have a parent or people around them or anybody watching them. But go back to my point. If you was raised by a single mother, this is why I get on niggas leaving women with children alone, especially if we have a lot of undiagnosed people in the community, because it's putting more pressure on us and we're already fucking mentally challenged. I'm not saying that the men aren't. The men might be too, but we need to fix this. And then you have narcissistic ass, bullying ass community who cares about shoes, clothes, the way your teeth look, the way what everything is about appearance. Nothing is about internal work and therapy. Everything is about looking like you're okay. So by the time you've been neglected your whole life, whether it's through self-neglect or being neglected by your caretakers, and you don't meet the standards of societal beauty, you're treated badly. I can just keep going on and on and on. This is why these things matter. But can I walk around and police everybody and say, be nice? You don't know what people are going through. No, it can't. I try to get on here all the time and do it. And y'all think I'm just policing you for the hell of it. No, you don't know what people are going through, but yet you comment on it. You don't even know if you're suffering. You're not even aware because you don't know what you don't know. If your reality is to suffer, you don't know you're suffering. Especially if you don't, and I'm going to tie it back into race, if you don't communicate with the opposite race of you, and I'm talking about like if you're black and they're white, you don't communicate with them, and then you don't know what to compare. If you don't talk to people who live a little different from you, you don't know what you're missing out on because you only stay in-house within your cultural dynamic.